All right. Okay, so this is what caught my eye, which was Link, as in Link is basically pushing to make a new high right now, and it's one of the first coins which has basically bought the entire dip and went back up, which made me realize that um, why exactly is this dip being bought so aggressively that you have to think about the entire structure for the market. Now we all know that the market started rallying after this bottom got printed here on November 4th. Okay, so from November 4th onwards, you have to view the entire structure as the initiating point. So from here till November 11th, it was the first wave. The first pullback we saw was the second wave pullback, and all the way up till here is the third wave. This crash, which we witnessed, is the fourth wave, and this entire vertical push, which we're seeing right now, is the fifth wave in progress now. Now, if you take a fib from this bottom till this top, it defended perfectly at the 50% retracement. That's exactly where the wave 4 pullbacks are supposed to finish. And it's likely going to go vertical enough that you will be attempting a massive rally to take out one of the major swing highs. First one will be here at 28. Then after that will be here, 38. But that's just for Link. Okay, I'm talking just Link at the moment. However, this same structure, which I discussed, is being played out across the board on everything. It's not just Link, it's just every altcoin has gone through the same kind of a scenario where, take ETH for example. Um, okay. The bottom was printed November 5th, right? So you have to view the first pullback, which got printed from the bottom, is the second wave. This is the third wave. This is the fourth wave. And we're in the middle of a fifth wave. And ETH will be making a new high here very soon. And the moment you make a new high, it's not going to stop there because you've tested this level like one time, second time, the third time. Now you're going at it for the fourth time. It's going to squeeze pretty strongly. And you will be going for this level here at about 43.73 on Ethereum minimum. After that, I don't know if it's going to stop there. It's going to keep pushing to new all-time highs. But same thing with Ethereum. If you measure the pullback of the entire third wave, it defended at the 50% retracement, and now it's doing like a completely vertical U-turn and going back up. Next thing, AVAX. Oh, I already drew the pattern for that. There. So from November 5th bottom, first push, first wave, 12th November pullback, second wave. Third wave is a proper 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which ended on December 3rd. We got a proper ABC correction to the downside, 10th of December bottom. Now we're starting the fifth wave up, and it's likely going to push to new all-time highs, which is sitting right there, right above it. So this fifth wave is not going to stop there. It's going to keep pushing to 65. And that's on AVAX. XRP, the bottom near November here. I suppose you can spot this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up like this, which makes this a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Within, this is a 1, that's a 2, this entire thing's a 3, this is a 4, and that's a 5 about to play out. Now you can likely see that this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is just mapped, it's a proper subwave 3, which means this initial push, that's the first wave, then a second wave, right? Then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up as the first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave. The fourth wave pullback becomes a higher base in the market, and that's what the market defended here. That makes this proper ABC correction, and we are looking to kickstart the subwave 5 of the larger wave 5. It should take you to new all-time highs on XRP as well, right there, 3.3. Okay, we're not gonna stop here. Like it's likely pump time across the board. But when you're looking at several coins like Sui, it's a funny name, Sui. This particular chart pattern, which Sui printed from this low, BNB has the same chart pattern. This is a 1, that's a 2, that's a 3, that's a 4, and this is a 5. The fifth wave basically went way beyond the wave 3, and it's like going bonkers now. Okay, that's the important thing to realize, that Sui has already printed a massive fifth wave, and that is exactly what Bitcoin is going to do as well. Where I think we're done going sideways. Because Bitcoin has been somewhat sideways within this range, and this is like a support zone. The support zone got defended on this pullback and is punching above it again. We closed the daily candle above the range high, and we even closed it above this resistance zone on the daily chart. So it can keep going sideways here for now. We haven't really opened the New York session candle. And tomorrow morning, I'm thinking Bitcoin basically starts expanding to 107K, and we basically witness a massive run up going into tomorrow on Bitcoin. So this particular resistance, which got flipped, it's going to be acting as support here. It's already acting as support, It's just going sideways for now. There is no punch up happening at the moment. The real punch up is likely going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen overnight. That's what I'm thinking. Link is in full-blown rally mode. Like it's punching for new highs right now. I think AVAX is going to do the same thing. It's the same chart pattern on AVAX. Like if you look at the 4-hour charts, they both have been like pushing in a similar manner from this bottom. See that? This bottom is this bottom here. You punch, 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 pull back, right? Pull back. This rally is this rally. So this punch, which happened in Link, signaled that AVAX will be going above this high too. Then eventually, after going sideways for a little bit, they both started rallying higher, right there. Pull back at the same time, and then AVAX did not immediately rally to new highs when Link was making some uproads here. There was some sideways, and then AVAX went up too. While Link made a new high first, AVAX did not. There was a little bit of more sideways, and then Link really took off, and AVAX took off with it, making the new high there. Now, what I'm witnessing right here, after this punch happened on Link, pull back a little, rallied up, collapse over there. It's the same thing in AVAX, where it pulled back a little, which is this pullback here. When it touched up a little, Link had made a new high, AVAX did not. It made a lower high, but they both went down together. They both bottomed together. And now while Link is like punching above, making this massive, massive run up, I can assure you that AVAX is going to do the same thing. It's just going to take a little bit more time. It's practically like looking into the future, where you're like, okay, from here, it's an easy 12% run to new highs here, because Link has gone up and is tagging these highs right there. So you can like even attempt some leverage and take it up all the way to there on both AVAX and Link. I mean, Link is already there, but you can do it for the AVAX. Now, one of the reasons why Bitcoin is coming down, I think I noticed it very closely on the hourly chart. See this bottom? There's no wick to it. It's basically chopping around, leaving flat bottoms, goes up, comes back down to fill the flat bottom, goes back up again, leaves a flat bottom. It's leaving a flat bottom up top, but it's coming down to like fill the flat bottom. So it's gonna keep doing it until like the New York session opens. And when the New York session opens, Bitcoin is gonna start expanding to the upside. It's not gonna wait around. Should be on its way after that. Another note on XRP BTC. Not like this. Yeah, this one. This is a very, very strong bullish order block. You don't ignore this thing. Seeing what is happening across the board, where everything is kind of printing their macro wave fives, XRP is going to start printing its macro wave five as well. Just like, it bottomed right there, November 11th. It was a proper 1, 2, 3, 4. I think the fifth wave is going on. It's not done. It's just a very, very big fifth wave. From here, it's like a one, that's a two, that's a three, that's a four, and then there will be a fifth one. You just gotta use your imagination a little bit and think bigger. That is how things will be unfolding, in my opinion. Where XRP is likely bottomed, I think I managed to catch this bottom right there. So I'm kind of like chilling in XRP, not too fussed about whatever side this price action is happening. It's a common mistake to think that just because the market pushed and it hasn't broken up the high here, and you're just like going sideways, that is kind of like come back down. No, it's a macro bull trend. You have to be aware that most likely it's just wicking down here, and you will be attacking this upside wick next. That's how macro bull trends always unfold. Max pain is always to the upside; it's not to the downside for the macro bull trends. Because people at the first instance, if like the topping out pattern is being printed, they start shorting, and then they're at the risk of getting burnt out when the market starts turning like it is right now. And the moment you break above this area, in my opinion, that it's gonna start short squeezing very quickly, just like how Link started short squeezing. Where if you look at that, that's a short squeeze happening. That only initiated after you took out this zone. That was a trigger that the market structure has flipped. Did this resistance zone hold? No, it did not. So if you want right now, just get an AVAX. Don't try to contemplate if it's gonna come back down or not. It's gonna go all the way till 55 from here. As far as the elite wave is concerned for Bitcoin, this is a one, that's a two, and the third wave is still in motion. I don't think it's done yet. So when you see this wave two being printed right now, from this bottom, you would be like, okay, this is a wave one, this down candle is a wave two, this is a wave three, this is a wave four, there will be a wave five happening. And I would not be surprised if this wave five gets really powerful, kind of like that. Then you go a little bit sideways overnight and then you push the wave five hold down. So it will be kind of like this, in my opinion, how things should be going for Bitcoin. Don't just get bamboozled with the fact that just because the market is going sideways, it's not going anywhere. It's not gonna go tomorrow. It's gonna go tomorrow. It's gonna hammer tomorrow. Like tomorrow is like every asset risk on asset class. They will be bowing down to Trump as he's gonna like come to ring the bell for Nasdaq closing bell. So I think it will be like a full on risk on rally. I mean Nasdaq is already showing that risk on rally, where Nasdaq has printed a proper bullish engulfing. Like I said, it's a bullish auto block. So tomorrow is an expansion day again on Nasdaq. Now I'm thinking on Nasdaq it's gonna be a proper 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this, or we are already in the fifth wave, but you have to consider that from this bottom, price is doing a larger wave three like that, and we're in the sub wave five of the wave three. Because when you're carrying out like the macro expansions, it's you don't time the top. Like that's where people get very fixated on where the top is going to be, and they keep thinking about, okay, maybe this is the top, maybe this is the top, and they keep thinking that, okay, well, if this pullback is happening, maybe this is the top. Never ever ever try to guess the top when a bigger wave three is happening, because wave three subdivide, and when they subdivide, they make their own subdivisions like this. Like even if this pullback starts happening, then guess what? This is a support zone. It's going to come back in here. It's going to defend it, and it's going to go back up again for the wave five. So macro bull trend means that you have to look at subdivisions when they're being printed in front of you. So that is one of my primary theses, that from this bottom, this initial wave structure up was the first wave. This little pullback was the second wave. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 was the first subwave of the larger wave three. This is the second subwave, and we're in the middle of the third subwave, which is a massive, massive structure. So what I mean by that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Okay, so here, like this. There, I said it. This is the larger elite wave count on how things are unfolding, where we are in the macro wave three, and you have to assume that the wave three is subdividing, and this is the best subdivision count I can think of. After you did this ABC correction, I would assume that this is a one, that's a two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up is a wave three, this is a wave four, and that is a wave five in motion. So you see how many subdivision counts are being printed in the moment? Like we are in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now, which is the subwave count of the larger wave three. Then this is the microwave count, where we are in the microwave five of the subwave three of the larger wave three. That is where things get hormonally bullish. I mean, you don't come in the way of anything which is remotely bullish like this. When you're printing bullish order blocks as you go, and you have like the seasonality factor behind it too, because December, seasonally speaking, is a fairly bullish month. Sorry, Minkus, I could not see your comment. I was looking at the pig trading floor you posted in the crypto discussion, so it ran past me. I'll look into Bonk now. Um, Bonk. All right. So this is my base case thesis with Bonk, where I think this drop was a wave C drop. If you want to long it, you could long it, but you would have to put a wide stop loss, which would be at this low, and you would be targeting new highs from here. It's still a good risk reward ratio, like 2.27, if you would like to take it. I personally think there are better opportunities out there. Like I think WIF is even better than Bonk. Where let's go to WIF. There. I had already mapped out the elite bit count on WIF. Like this is the first wave up. This is the second wave down. This entire punch up is like the third wave up. This ABC is the fourth wave down. Now, the reason I'm saying that this could be a fourth wave down is because on the 2 week candle, this is a bullish auto block, and this is an inside 2 week candle. We close this 2 week candle in about 3 days. So my thinking is that the next 2 week candle will be an expansion up, and you'll be taking other side on VIF. So if you want to get an entry, I think this is the entry you can get, where I would only do like a spot position on VIF. I don't do leverage. This is the risk reward ratio. Entry would be here, stop loss below there, target all of it there. Make sense? By the way, I call the entry on AVAX pretty much on live stream. If this thing keeps going up from here, I deserve a very nice Christmas gift from all of you. Look at that, XRP is already pushing. Let's go, XRP! Let's go! Okay. Euphoria aside, this is another chart setup which you need to be aware of. This is on Bimbo, which is my favorite name for BNB. On Bimbo, this is a very, very strong bullish auto block. And I think I have a very, very decent understanding of how the algorithm works on BNB, as I have like nailed most of its bottoms and tops well in advance. I can tell you for sure Bimbo is going to go for $1,000 mark. And this is likely the start of the $1,000 rally. I think going into Trump's inauguration on January 20th, Bimbo will keep rallying, and we should be sitting at $1,000 mark at some point. Now, this chart pattern, which I'm mentioning, like this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and we should be starting the big wave 5. We just discussed a chart which looks exactly like this one, which is sweet. See, this initial push is a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, massive, massive wave 5 up. Took out this line. All right. If you compare there, does this make sense? From this bottom, November 26th, see this rounded structure? It was this rounded structure right there. So that's a wave 1, that's a wave 2. This entire push was a wave 3, this is a wave 4, and we're gonna see a wave 5 rally happening. So SUI has already suggested that Bimba is gonna do the same thing. SUI just like got trigger happy and it started running beforehand. Bimba is gonna wait for BTC to run. So tomorrow when the market opens, BTC starts running, everything else will start running with that. So Bitcoin is gonna go to like at least 110K, which is roughly how much of a rally is that from here? That's a 10% rally right from here, which would technically mean yeah, 10% rally on Bimbo. till new all-time highs. So my thinking is that they both kind of start running hand in hand. That right now the daily candle is not expanding on Bimba because it's like a larger coin and it's tied up with the algorithm for BTC, just like every other larger coin is. Ethereum for once is like running on its own, which is nice to see. And it's breaking this resistance, so it means that this is a clean sailing up till this high to 4100. XRP is turning away. The moment it starts going above 2.5, I think it's going to squeeze up to like 2.6. The moment it goes above AP high, this is an easy push to like 2.9. So keep an eye out on XRP for tomorrow. What's your favorite one? Uh, so I think I've discussed quite a few setups. Basically, everything across the board will be seeing macro wave fives pushing up top, including BTC. Like, don't go into the fact that just because it's printing like a down candle like this, it may be topping or whatnot. Just pay attention to the daily structure. The daily structure is suggesting it closed above major high right there. The moment it closed the daily candle above here, it's a short signal that you are squeezing higher. If you look at the 2-day candle, this was the chart pattern in play, where you took out the lows of the inside 2-day candle, closed up, went down again, closed up. Right now, what the market is doing, it's doing some kind of a consolidation, some kind of a rejection, making you believe that it's going to go down or whatnot. That's general manipulation tactics. But look at the psychological number. It's above 100K. As long as it keeps closing the daily candles above 100K, it's going to be pushing 204K, and then eventually it's going to go to 107 and then 110. It's going to jump very, very aggressively. You're not going to go down on BTC. No chance it goes down. Right now, it's just going down to fill this flat open on the hourly candle. But after that, I think it's smooth sailing from there. See, length made a new high right there. Yeah, pay attention to AVAX. AVAX is going to go. It will go big time. Hmm. See, even on the AVAX BTC pairing, this is the LA wave in play, where the initial rally was the wave 1, ABC is a wave 2, this entire push is wave 3, this is wave 4, and we're punching up for like a wave 5. It's just that AVAX hasn't really started running yet. Well, Link has already done the running part, or like it's on the way for the running part. So when you take a fib from this low to the high, defend exactly at 0.618, reclaiming the range low. It's a very, very easy push from here to the 18% rally. Here, look at that. Now you see the chart pattern on XRP. Like if you put a trend line up like that, like this, once it starts breaking above this high and goes above this resistance, it's game over. It's in full squeeze mode after that. Like the moment you go above this 4 hour bearish auto block, that would be the break in market structure, and the market will be in full on rally mode from there. Yeah, don't miss it. But just one of the reasons I mentioned that XRP is like one of my top choices. XRP was the only thing suggesting that it's going to run. Other altcoins, I did not think they were going to run until I looked at Link and I looked at SUI, that they ran quite a bit before even XRP ran, because XRP is like the king of altcoins. It's supposed to dictate what other altcoins are supposed to do. So it was ironic to see that Link was the first one to run. I think there was a post I was reading that Trump is buying Link, that there's like blockchain ledger suggesting million, 2 million, $3 million worth of tokens being bought by that ledger, and that ledger belongs to Eric Trump, which is Donald Trump's son, and he's like very much into crypto too. So that fueled this entire rally on Link, which is suggesting that it's going to happen the same with AVAX too. They're both kind of like in the same boat. XRP is up 3%. Let's go XRP. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. One of the other chart patterns I was paying attention to in XRP is on the 2-day chart, where this was the inside 2-day candle. Notice how we did not take out the highs. I would not consider this to be a proper stop run. Instead, we went for the lows, and then once we took the lows out, we also took another this low out, and then we punched up. In doing so, the market created a 6 hour bullish auto block formation, which I had to keep track of. And that was also one of the reasons I positioned into XR. I mean, I already positioned like at the bottom because I was thinking it was going to reject and it's going to go up. I was not thinking it was going to do it in like one candle the way it did it right there. That was pretty impressive on how quickly it did that. So ever since then, I've been like talking about that XRP is going to keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, because there's like multiple theories suggesting that's going to do it. There's Elliott suggesting, there's the inside 2-day candle failure pattern suggesting. Then when you look at the entire market structure with Bitcoin and other altcoins also pushing up, that's also suggesting that the wave 5 is going to start. And then when you look at the overall chart pattern, like on the 2-week and the monthly chart, you kind of just know that between here and here, this is thin air. Like I was surprised that XRP actually managed to do this kind of an entire retracement all the way to like this level, which is this level here. You know why exactly the market was defending right there? Is because it's a monthly SR level. It's not just some random level which the market defended from. Like when I was talking about this support zone, it was sitting at a monthly SR level. Okay, XRP is squeezing at the moment. Hmm. 2.47. But technically, what I'm talking about is that if you take even, the trend-based web extension, this bottom was not a coincidence. It was printed exactly at the 100% web extension. So when I saw such a massive reaction happening from like a very pinpoint level inside a very key support zone, like you can like narrow down the support zone to this bullish auto block inside there, like this little tiny bit of a bullish auto block. I know this is a bullish auto block because it's an inside 4 hour candle. You took out the lows before this massive pump happened. So these little consolidations before these massive pumps happen, they are extremely strong support zones. And look how strong the reaction is from that support zone when it taps into it. Like imagine the risk reward ratio if you long that support zone, knowing the entire structure, like you had a limit order setting right there, and you put a stop right below this low right there, and you're just holding that position all the way till this target. That's a 37.35 risk reward ratio. Imagine if that would be the leverage trade that you're risking like $1,000 right in the middle of that, and that $1,000 ends up getting turned to like $37,000. Jeff would be like, I'm taking work off. I'm going on vacation with you. Yes, baby. We gotta make a plan for your visit over here. Hmm. A similar thing I think is gonna happen with ADA. I have this Elliott wave count on ADA, where same thing as has happened with other altcoins. November 5th was the bottom. First initial push, wave one. This pullback's wave two. Then from November 12th till here is a proper wave three. This is the ABC correction in the form of wave four. And then wave five rally is going to happen now, going into the year end. I don't know how far off the wave five is going to go. It's very hard to tell. I would just recommend to target the nearest swing high, so it would be like around 1.6 from 1.15. That would be my target on ADA. But it's a very recognizable pattern, the way it's expanding, and it's going to blow above the wavy lower high. And the moment it blows above the wavy lower high, it's in short squeeze mode, and you will see velocity picking up in the market. Link is my god. It's up 15% on the day. See, this is altcoin season on its peak at the moment. It's on steroids. Come on, Max. Give us a 10% push. What? XRP, AVAX, Bitcoin, Ethereum, even Doge, I guess. I mean, you're not? Doge has issues, you know. Yeah. XRP is the king of altcoins. Like when it goes, it really goes. And the current market conditions are suggesting it's really gonna go. I know. You know, Vince kept saying that to me too, and I got annoyed. I was like, I mentioned two, three times just to get an XRP, and you're still talking about you're chasing it. The market's not gonna care if you're chasing it or not. It's just gonna go. Like it's that kind of a momentum in the market that market would not care about your risk reward ratio. It's not gonna care about like if you're in the midway, if you got to the bottom, if you're like in the final push. It is programmed to go till here. So whether you get in here, if you got in here, or if you're getting in like 2.9 or a 3, it's gonna go till 3.3. So that's the risk you gotta take in that case. And I don't think I really think the pain trade is an XRP because people are so salty about the fact that they missed the entire XRP move, that they haven't been part of it. And when it starts dropping, they want to like short it at a spite. So okay, so bro, I have a very funny story about which platform I use. There is a platform called Phemex, Phemex. It's this one. Now it does not actually accept US clients and it does not even accept Canadian clients. But funnily enough, in Canada, they mentioned that, out of which states they restrict clients from joining, and my state is not included in the restricted jurisdiction. So so I can go and put in leverage trades just because I live on this side of Canada. But if I was on the East Coast, I would be banned from like trading on this platform. So I'm like, I'm gonna milk the shit out. I will like put on 100x leverage and just like keep riding stuff out unless I get stopped out. But I think there's a platform called Blowfin, which does not actually accept KYC, and you could possibly trade using it, but I would not recommend it. Like I personally would be like, you need to be careful. If you want to like, get leverage, Bitcoin offers you leverage. There's all these names you can trade. Let's say, for example, where's the crypto proxy? Here. So MSTR, which is a proxy for Bitcoin, it's gonna give you this name. Let's say MSTX. You can get like 3x leverage. So instead of like if MSTR goes up like 9%, the other names are gonna go up like 18%, which is twice on what MSTR is doing. So you can just buy these names, and if MSTR rallies to new highs, this MSTX name is gonna go up like another 100%. So that's a risk you gotta take. If I'm saying that Bitcoin is gonna go, that basically means that MSTR is also gonna go along with it. So you could possibly take option calls on this number on this name too, which is MSTX. And if it goes up 100%, that option call is going to go up like 300% or 400%. So there's ways to play leverage as well with Bitcoin markets in the traditional equity cycle, and you don't really have to mess with altcoins. I mean, I know you need that dopamine hit by getting that 100% return on an altcoin, but you can get 100%, 200% returns just trading on these leverage ETFs. Like it says over here, daily target 2x long MSTR ETF. So that technically means that if MSTR goes up like 10%, this ETF is going to go up 20%. It's a direct proxy to Bitcoin, but it's on leverage. And there's obviously the IBIT ETF. You can buy option calls on IBIT too. They offer direct option calls on Bitcoin ETF, and I think they're pretty decent. They do like provide decent return. So let's say if Bitcoin goes up like 5%, the same week expiration call like at least 5-6% out. Like let's say if I took 60 strike option call and Bitcoin goes up 5% overnight and it opens at 60. That option call is going to go from like, $0.3 per contract to like $1 per contract. That's 300% return on that option contract. So 300% return on like same week expiration contract, it's pretty great. Like I still don't think I can actually pull that in zero dated option calls with the SPY contracts or the QQQ contracts because the volatility in Bitcoin is much higher in comparison to what the indices are doing. So playing the same week option contracts on IBIT, that can give you like 200 to 300% return too. But I'm definitely not saying that you should go and open like same week expiration option. Well, I'm just giving you like an example that it's a way to profit off of like the movement which is happening in the market. By the way, dot is also gonna go for like a new high, like 11. So with dot, it's the same pattern across the board, where from November 5th bottom, first initial push, wave one, this is a wave two pullback. This entire thing is a wave three, wave four, then a wave five. So if you want, you can open position like a spot position in dot as well. It will give you like a 25% return if it hits a new high over here. But I think it's gonna go up a little bit more to like 11 right there. That's a 27% return. Come on, let's go XRP. Let's go. It's squeeze time. It's making a new high right now. I mean, it's not technically broken out yet. The moment it goes above 2.5, it's gonna squeeze all the way to like 2.55. That's another 3% run up from here. Yeah, it's in full blown breakout mode. I think it's in a breakout mode. It needs confirmation for breakout by going above 2.6 high right there, but it's gonna get till there. I'm pretty sure it's gonna get till there. Like when you look at the XRP BTC chart, this is exactly what I was talking about initially, where you gotta respect the inside candle failures. This is suggesting to me that you're gonna see like a giant green dildo being printed on one of the 8-hour candles. After you go sideways like this, there will be expansion happening up top. And when that expansion happens, it will go exactly for this high in one candle. I hope I sound bullish enough that that I'm like asserting enough importance on these chart patterns. because we're in that phase of crypto season that all coins will be pumping pretty hard. While Bitcoin goes sideways like this, everything else will be green. I wouldn't say everything else drops. Everything else will rally along with it. That it'll go along with Bitcoin. Like it's not gonna be like Bitcoin goes down and all coins go up. No, it's gonna be like Bitcoin goes sideways. It does not rally, but all coins rally real hard, like they are right now. You see how things are up like 6%. Even Litecoin is up 4%. What the fuck? It's like the shittiest of the shittiest coins, and it's up 4% on the day. And then there's like XRP rallying against BTC, Ethereum rallying against BTC, BNB rallying against BTC. There's like 16% up, 8% up, 3% up, 4% up, 6% up, 2% up, 4% up, 3% up. Like everything else is green. It's just that Bitcoin is sideways. It's not going down, but it's just like setting flat on the day. That's all coin season for you. And also there will be cycles happening where, for example, right now, Link is the one which is squeezing, right? That is making new highs. Then when Link is done pumping, that money is going to rotate to something else. I think it's going to be AVAX because AVAX and Link kind of go together. And then AVAX pumps like 10%. And then when AVAX is done pumping, it's going to stop pumping and money's going to go into something else, maybe DOT. Then DOT pumps like 10%. And then when it's done pumping, money's going to go into something else. Could be like shit coins like Pepe, WIF, and whatnot. Then when there's going to be like a proper day, maybe on the weekend or maybe on Monday, where all the meme coins are pumping, they're up like 20%, 30%. And then when the moon phase is kind of done with the meme coins, then money's gonna go back into like the mega caps. Like the Sol is gonna pump, Doge is gonna pump, ETH is gonna pump, BTC is gonna pump. Like it's gonna rotate like this. Like not everything is gonna go up in a similar way. Like that's all coin season. Like there's rotation happening all the time from like one sector to the second sector to the third sector. And when the rotation is happening, it's not like the other sectors are going down. They're just kind of like sitting flat, consolidating, getting ready for the next breakout to happen. That's how altcoin season unfolds. Up, up, up we go. Up we go. Let's go. Let's go. Up we go. By the way, Soul is gonna be pumping as well. Like it's not gonna be like Soul does not pump while everything else pumps. Now, what I'm thinking with Soul is that the monthly candle has not started expanding on December start, which is making me think that other stuff is going to pump in the meantime while Soul consolidates. And next week, you will see a giant green candle in Soul. Like, because it has been sideways to down for 3 weeks in a row. And if the chart patterns are correct, the way I'm interpreting them, Soul actually started running a lot earlier than other stuff started running because Soul's bottom was right there. And I would say that Soul has been following MSTR very closely in comparison to other stuff. Like altcoins are just kind of doing their own thing, whereas with Soul, it's becoming more traditional. Okay. So you see this bottom, 6th of September, was this bottom right there on Solana. This particular bottom, 5th of August, was this bottom. Okay. And then this entire rally, where did it top out? 22nd of November, right? What is this top? 22nd of November. Now MSTR is likely bottomed. Take my word on that. If I'm saying the Solana is going to make a new high going into next week, you can take option calls on MSTX for next week, which is this thing. $220 strike 3 weeks out. It's going to pay. It should pay. Because if Solana is going to make a new high, that would mean that MSTR is going to rally to make a new high. And that would mean that MSTX, which is a proxy for MSTR, is going to go higher and going to make a new high too. So that's a leverage play. Say what? Okay, it's true. They both do the same thing, which is why I'm saying that MSTR is going to go up because Bitcoin is also going to go up. They both are going hand in hand together. Except Solana is like a carbon copy of MSTR. When this drop happened right there, if you compare which asset class dropped the most when this drop happened, just compare the date. This is IBIT. See this drop? 21st November. What was happening on 21st November? Bitcoin didn't drop at that day. It didn't drop the next day either. It started dropping like 2 days after that when these two candles are being printed. Okay? And then while it's been going sideways, Bitcoin has been going up, which means that MSTR has been lagging behind. Now Bitcoin went up and it's gonna go make a new high. It's even trading above this high, 22nd November high, which means that which asset class has been lagging behind? It's Solana. Solana has been the one which is like, I'm too fancy. I don't want to go. I just want to stay here. So this fancy ass thing needs to move. And when it starts moving, MSTR is gonna move along with it. Bro, you don't have to get option calls. You can just buy the ETF itself. Like if you feel like they're expensive, just buy the MSTX ETF. It's gonna give you 100% return when it gets there. Just buy the spot ETF itself. Don't think option calls. Just put everything you may have and put it into MSTX and put like a very tight stop loss below like 76 or something. Because the thing is, if Solana is bottomed, which is this bottom right there, that technically means that MSTX is bottomed at 83. Why do I say that? Because Solana is tied up with MSTR like this, and this particular bottom was this bottom right there. Now there's a divergence though, which is suggesting that there's relative strength in MSTR. What I mean by that is this low in Solana is this low in MSTR. Solana made a lower low, MSTR made a higher low, Solana made another lower low, MSTR made another higher low. So MSTR is actually being accumulated while Solana was kind of getting dumped on. But I am quite certain this is a bull flag on Solana. And based on Elliott wave pattern, it's quite easy to interpret that from this bottom, 4th of October, this is a wave 1, that's a wave 2, that's a wave 3, that's a wave 4, there'll be a wave 5. Either that or this entire thing is a wave one from this bottom, from here. So what I'm saying is that from this bottom, 6th of September, this entire thing is a wave one, that's a wave two, that's a wave three, that's a wave four, that's a wave five. So if you're buying spot on MSTR or MSTX, if you just buy spot on MSTX, you're gonna, you're not gonna pay any premium on that. It's just spot. Like you hold what you hold. It's just like buying stock. Like there won't be any time decay happening. Your only risk is that MSTR goes down, but I'm fairly certain that it does not, given the broader context of what's happening with the crypto systems. So from this bottom, 5th of November, this entire thing was a wave three, and this entire drop is a wave four. And I think the wave four drop is likely finished on Solana, and we go for like a wave five going into the month end. Now, what do I mean by that is that Solana is right there. Okay. What I mean by that is Solana hasn't seen any upside movement on December month, and I think that last push up is going to happen in the last 2 weeks for Solana. So starting from here, or maybe next week when you start the next week on Monday, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, the next week is going to be like a proper expansion day on Solana. All right. So that's for all the setups I have in mind, which should play out and how they're unfolding. I think crypto is where the real money is at the moment. I did cover Nasdaq. If Nasdaq does come down to this area, 21,583, that's a long right there. That's a pretty solid SR level because that's a part of this entire bullish order block. So I would be willing to long it over here if it came down here. I mean, look at Dow. It's been printing one, two, three, four, five, sixth consecutive down daily candles, and the only upside is happening in like Nasdaq. So S&P 500 is like in a limbo. Do I go up? Do I go down? What do I do? And if Nasdaq is going up, it basically means that it's a risk on event for Bitcoin too. Yeah, next 8 hour candle. Next RP. I think it goes. Next 8 hour candle. Okay. Averaging up. That's a unique trading strategy. I'm just gonna wait to average up. Imagine people in crypto, they're like, our only profitable strategy is averaging up as price is going up. Like keep piling into the position as it's going up, and keep averaging your position up, and keep making more money as it keep going up. Yeah, like if people were like averaging up on XRP, they would be like millionaires by now. Like averaging up every 20%. Hey, XRP is at 20%. I'm gonna buy more. Average up. Another 20% average more. Buying up. Like crypto kind of like defies all the investing rules equity investors have been taught. Like equity investors think about averaging down when things are coming down, so things can eventually go up and they can sell. In crypto, you're like, hey, don't wait for like things coming down. Just like keep averaging up as things are going up. FET is gonna go up, Minkus. Like it's a bullish chart. Let's see, where are you, Mr. FET? There it is. It's gonna go, but it's gonna take time to go. Mainly because the I generally think it's gonna hit a new all-time high because this is a pattern, right? Where you had the inside monthly candles, you had a breakdown, but then you reclaimed the monthly lows, and while reclaiming the monthly lows, price has created a bullish order block right there. It's one of those chart patterns where you gotta really have conviction on higher time frame because I do believe it's gonna go and make that all-time high top here. This is another 87%, but it's probably not gonna happen this month. Probably not. It does not have the same juice behind it like other coins do, and it's likely gonna wait till like the AI hype picks up again in January or February before it makes a new all-time high. So, for example, when the drop happened, where did it defend? See this level? It's a monthly level where it was a monthly low from this low right there. That's the level which got defended, and now you're jumping up from there. So I think this low is in for the month, but I just don't know if it's going to expand for this month. It may as well just like go sideways, not even rally, because when I see the expansions happening every day, it's likely the lowest performer out of all the coins I have. Like when other coins are going up, like 3%, 5%, 8%, 10%, this is going up just 1%, 1.5%, which kind of suggests that there's not much interest in terms of like what you call FOMO. It does not have the FOMO behind it that people want to go into it, and they're like kind of passively investing behind it, is what I'm saying. So yeah, you can hold it. I do think it's gonna go make an all-time high because the technical pattern is there. It's just that it may not have the juice behind it, so you gotta make a ethical decision. Do you want to lock up your capital behind it right now, or you want to use that capital into other things which are currently moving much faster than FET is? It all boils down to like, do you want to commit your capital to it, or you want to commit your capital to something else which is moving much faster than FET is? But it would kind of suck, that if you put, let's say, 10K behind FET out of the 100K you may have in possession, and you put 30K in Ethereum, 20K in Solana, 20K in XRP, and 5K, 5K, 5K to other altcoins. And FET is the only one which is not going, but other things which you could have put it in, they went up like 30%, 40%, 50% in the next few weeks. Just opportunity cost is what I'm saying, which you gotta assess. I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying that. Put in 10K behind a coin. I think it's yeah. Don't remind me of FTX. It's a salty spot. Everybody knows what the hell. Come on, Avax. Make me proud. Go for a new all-time high. I mean, new 52-week high, not an all-time high. Hmm? Yeah, eventually. You know what's funny? This pump happened within a few candles, and it's taking a very, very long time just to fill it out. Which technically means that the market is just like chopping around in Bitcoin. It's not actually trending. It's gonna start trending when the market opens tomorrow. Not right now. Like when you spend five 30-minute candles coming down just to fill like this open gap, you just know the market is chopping around. It's not trending. It's not trending to the downside either. It's just like chopping around. Meanwhile, XRP, it's flirting with breakout. Yeah, I would say you can buy MSTX, but you need to give it enough hold time. You cannot think of it that it's gonna go tomorrow. You have to think of it this way: that's gonna go in the next week, maybe 2 weeks. By the time December comes to an end, it will go. Yeah, it's kind of like that. So MSTX, if it goes to all-time highs, that's 100% return. MSTY, that's 25% if you need like low volatility. MSTU, why the hell is it clicking? That's 90%. So yeah, I would say just get MSTX. What are you doing? Yeah, what noise is that? All right. Uh, I'm not the one to judge that. You do what makes you feel good. I didn't know you went to a therapist. I think I would have learned that when I visited you because I would have like a lot of suggestions to the therapist. Did you say nude friends? No, not exactly. There would be certain things I could say on, how you can treat me better. Maybe pamper me a bit more. Exactly. Keep up with my neediness. No, I think I've trained you pretty well. I've trained you well. If you see my name pop up, you just gotta answer immediately. You can ignore your wife, but you cannot ignore me. All right. Okay, I think I've covered all the setups. But when you were asking about Tesla, right? Ha ha ha! Tesla is at all-time highs. You just let it go. I was telling you to keep holding Tesla, like in person too. Be like, bro, just hold it. It's gonna go. It's gonna go. Hold it. Then what's the issue? Why are you complaining? So you're complaining just for the sake of complaining? Mm-hmm. Of course. Everybody thinks they should waited for it. Now, when you look at the quarterly chart, my core pattern in play was this inside quarterly candle, which had a breakdown to the downside. You reclaimed it, but I was very surprised that it actually like exited this bottom right here. The market structure shift happened right here when you broke above that. So I think I believe I mentioned very, very aggressively that the moment market goes above here, it's gonna squeeze. And I was very convinced it was gonna do that because this level was tested like one time, two time, three time, four time, fifth time. At some point it had to go. The bitch had to go. And it did. Like the moment it broke above that, there was like a massive short squeeze all the way to the top. Which is why I was like, just keep holding it, it's gonna go, it's gonna go. Because Tesla has a massive, massive short position built up on it from the past. Um, yeah, because it's been like a downtrend and people had like a very stingy bias against Elon Musk because of his politics or whatnot. But they kind of forget that the company he's innovating, the products he's building, they're actually very good and they're bringing him like, real income behind it. There's real revenue behind it. Like that's what they kind of forget about. And there's like an insane catalyst which comes in with the election that they're like, okay, well, let's get this thing back on steroids. And yeah, I'm glad I have Tesla in my parents' portfolio. Like I built it for them. Like when Tesla was trading somewhere around like 240. Like I bought it like last year, not even like this year. I've been accumulating Tesla in their portfolio since like July 2023. I have like messages with my friends, and that I'll show you. No, no, no. I'm just gonna post it like one message, and let's see. This was from July 2023 when I had mentioned that the stock has another 47% upside if you hold it and put your take profit order at 414. I made my friend hold it for a year and a half, and she kept bickering that, why is it not going? You told me it's gonna go. Why is it not going? I had to like be like, there's a thing called patience that wait for a catalyst. It's gonna come. It's gonna go. It's programmed in the entire thing. It's gonna go. And you know, whenever like get till here, she's like, okay, I'm a break even. Should I get out? I'm like, no, keep holding. Just keep holding it. Eventually, like it's sitting over here, and she was like, "No, I don't feel like it's gonna go. I think I'm gonna lose my money because she was down. I think about I made her enter around here. She was down like 40, 45% on that. I'm like, if you feel like you're down, add more to it. Like just average down. Like why are you thinking that you're down? Like if you have more sideways capital sitting around, just empty those positions and put it in Tesla. So she averaged down. Like actually, like at 160 where she listened to me, averaged down, and her average entry came at around 218, and then she's been holding it since 218. When Trump got elected and this thing went like push all the way up, and now she's like, okay, I'm rich. Like this was her reaction today. Let's see. Crypto discussion, bro. That's where we were talking, right? Like I had to scroll. I had to scroll all the way back to like July 2023 messages and get her to like look at our investment now. Yeah, this is why wealth is kind of made on a longer time frame. It is not made in a day. It's not made like a week or even a month. You just gotta believe in something, and you gotta hold it over a very long period of time. And when it like pays out, it pays out really big time. That's kind of like indicative of what happened with Tesla. Like I had very strong conviction this thing was gonna go, and that conviction is coming to fruition now after the cat has played out with the Trump selection. Now you can have all kinds of opinions you can want about Trump or whatnot, but you know you also have to realize that the play was there in terms of what was going to happen with the Tesla company because either it was going to go down to zero if Trump would have lost and Elon Musk would have been buried in lawfare, but that's a risk you got to be willing to take. And if the company is good and there's a massive catalyst coming behind it, then your targets are getting hit within like the same month. You don't have to wait like 6 months for that to happen, and that's a bonus at the end of the day. So yeah, like this was like well, I think it's gonna keep running. It's not gonna stop here. Like it has too much momentum behind it. So you gotta think of it this way: 500 is not the first target, which is the 1.272 extension, but I think it's gonna go all the way to like 600. The 1.618. It's not gonna happen like next month or so. Think of it this way: when is the next major event happening in U.S. markets? It's the Trump inauguration day, which is January 20th, when Daddy comes to office, when gets to work. He is kind of like in a way, like he kind of gives away that vibe whenever he like talks to other people. He's like the one who's like ordering stuff around, like I'm the one responsible. You have to do stuff for me. It has to be done in a certain way. Otherwise, it's not good. You're gonna be fired. You're fired. Like he's that kind of a vibe which he gives. Like from Apprentice, right? Like he had that line, you're fired. So he is that kind of a personality. He's the big daddy in the room whenever he's like sitting with somebody. So now you have to think of from a speculative mindset. Which things are running because of Trump? It's crypto. Bitcoin is running because of Trump. Every other crypto cycle is happening the way it's happening because Trump is the one commanding that thing to happen. With Paul Atkins being appointed, Scott Besson being appointed, um, crypto regulations being friendly and whatnot, Bitcoin is being run like hormonally bullish because of Trump. So when Trump gets in office, things will keep running because the music is on. The Trump There's anticipation that he will be coming to office, and what resolution will he be setting on first day in office and whatnot. So people will position going into his inauguration event. But the moment he takes office, I am anticipating a lot of profit taking to start happening after he takes on office. Because most of the things which people think he was gonna do, they have already like kind of priced it in, and Tesla being one of them too. So you can hold Tesla going into January, like the entirety of January, you can hold it, but you got to take profit on that when January 20th inauguration day comes into play. So I'm not quite sure where exactly it would be trading when January 20th comes into corner. It could be trading at 500, it could be trading at 600 for all I care. But the timing matters. Like January 20th is the day where you got to take profits on your Tesla investments because there will be significant profit taking happening in Tesla when inauguration day happens for Trump. Okay, and let's take a look at Apple. It's setting a yearly pivot. You got to take profits on Apple now. I don't think it's going to run for the rest of the year. I think it's pretty much done. It's probably going to pull back. But if it comes to this SR level at about 237, that's where you can enter long positions. Now, I think I discussed Apple with you, Jeff, in person when I was visiting you, that this was the quarterly high I had discussed. That if this quarterly high is going to hold a support, you should be seeing upward push happening in Apple for December month. So, what exactly did I discuss in person? I'm not even sure now. No, I think I had a very, very specific pattern which I discussed with you, where I was like, going into December, yearly patterns of the monthly one. What the fuck? You scared me. Anyways, I had a very, very clear. It's Minkus. Minkus. I believe when I was visiting you, let's replay the market. It was trading somewhere here. No, I'm pretty sure this was the chart pattern where this was the ascending triangle I was looking at. Um, so between here, yeah, I'm gonna. So right there, this is the chart pattern I had discussed, and I think I had mentioned on the monthly. What the hell? No, I basically discussed that December is like a very bullish month for Apple because they do stock buybacks, and the stock buyback is gonna open the window to attack this high here. Right, yeah, the daily market structure where I was discussing that is making higher highs and higher lows, and eventually it's gonna squeeze up till 250. That was the larger target I had, but the yearly pivot is the one I had mentioned. that Apple is gonna get attracted to the yearly pivot because it's setting above the R1 pivot right there, that it had formed support over the R1 yearly pivot. It was creating like a. I was teaching Naja about pivots, where I was like, you have to use yearly pivots as dynamic SR levels, where if it's finding support of the yearly pivot, that's gonna get attracted to the next yearly pivot, which is a 247. So December being like a very bullish month, I was leaning towards a rally to happen in Apple to 247. And obviously that played out. And I also mentioned that, NVIDIA is sitting at R5, so you should not be surprised that NVIDIA does not go anywhere for the rest of the year. It just like chops around, goes down. And it's still sitting at R5. It's been like a month since we discussed this. Now take a look at Bitcoin's R5 yearly pivots. Oh my god, just good. There. Where are we at right now? The daily chart. It's not a trick question. Just tell me. Which yearly pivot are we setting above? And how much time is left on the year? I mean, you have just like two weeks more. Legit 2 weeks more. It has 2 weeks to rally till R5. So from here, you just closed the daily candle above the R4 pivot, right? Make sense? Good. This was the necessary resistance, came down, went up, did not close above it, came down, went above it, lost it, came down, went above it again. Maybe it comes down again, but it is going to hold R4. So this region is a very, very strong support zone. Now, so going into tomorrow, this is one of the reasons you could assume that Bitcoin is going to squeeze up and start the wave 5, which is also one of the reasons why you are seeing other altcoins really going hormonal, that they're already starting their wave 5s and going up. Because if you look at their own yearly pivots, where's Ethereum setting at? It's at R3. It's been rejecting R3 twice, second time, and now it's doing the third time, and then fourth time as well. So once it goes above the R3 pivot, it's going to squeeze up to like the R4 pivot, which is 4,800. Whereas the 4,800 level is at all-time highs. So Ethereum will be like next week on hot list to start squeezing up. Why did we reject here? See that R4, R3 yearly pivot, 4,000? That's the rejection which happened. So the moment you start closing the daily candle of the R4 yearly pivot, that's written in the algorithm next. It's going to go for the R4, which is $8,000 above. R4. The next one is R4. Once you close the daily candle above the R4, then it's written in the algorithm it's going to go for the R5. But my thinking is that we don't have much time left on the year. So for Ethereum, you're only going to like go to the R4 pivot, which is the all-time high level till there. Okay. Now XRP, it's sitting way above R5 pivot. And I'm still like longing XRP above the R5 pivot, which is insane even for me. Like today, where exactly did we defend? It was at the R5 pivot. That pullback happened. It turned support and it's like trading above that. So if Bitcoin goes, that means XRP is going to go along with it. And I was hoping that Solana would pull back. Why did Solana tap out where it did? That was the R3 yearly pivot. Formed the top, it's coming back down. I would have thought that it's going to come back down to like the R2 yearly pivot to find support, but it doesn't have to, you know. It's a very good SR level that it can long it, but you also got to be aware that this is a support zone because that was a prior resistance zone. It's forming at the R2 yearly pivot, and it tapped that support zone as like jumping up from it. So when it starts rallying, it goes above the R3 yearly pivot. R4 is the next one, just like Ethereum. And R4 at 330 from here, that's another 44% on Solana. But just like I explained that MSTR is like a direct process to Solana, so which means that MSTX is a good way to take advantage of whatever is happening with the Solana. I would highly recommend that just buy the spot ETF on MSTX, which would directly indicate that you would be going for the R4 yearly pivot. But I would definitely think that Bitcoin is going for the R5 yearly pivot at 117, which is another 15% up from here. Just look at how nicely it has been respecting the yearly pivots throughout the entire year. At the R2 yearly pivot support, R1 support, went below it, break below it. This was resistance, came back support, went above the R2, waited a squeeze to R3, did not even stop, all the way went till R4. Resistance, reclaiming it for support. When it goes above that, R5. I'm gonna have it back. So that's kind of how you use the yearly pivots. Bimbo is already setting them. It doesn't matter. I've seen XRP done much worse, as in, you know, I've seen it go with R5 pivots before. This one, it went above the R5 pivot, and the moment it went above that, it came back. This was the R1 pivot. It came back after that. But the very first cycle I've seen XRP like go beyond R5 pivots. So you see that? This was the yearly pivot. Now, if you were to like oh, it's way above R5 pivot, I'm gonna go buy it, then you may have like missed this entire move all the way till there. So yeah, like I think you just gotta play the chart pattern for what it presents, which it did right there. It reclaimed the R5 pivot. It was acting as support, right? Support, broke below it, reclaimed it, and now it's above it. So you just gotta target upside targets right there and go to all-time highs. I think once it taps all-time highs, you gotta short it. There's no other reason to be an XRP after that. See how AVAX is breaking out? I called the blue one AVAX live in stream. Be like, it's gonna go, just get it. Minkus, yearly pivots is an indicator which you can add on your charts. Go on indicators, then put on standard pivot. See that pivot point standard? Just write pivot point, this thing, pivot point standard. That's the one you gotta put in. Yeah. So there's a reason I haven't been touching Adobe. You know why I'm not touching it? No, nothing to do with yearly pivots. It's been leaving a lot of inefficiencies as it goes. I see this gap, and then I see this gap. I see this gap. I mean, let's just take everything out. Okay. Yeah, you cannot move a stock by leaving so many gaps open, which is one of the reasons I haven't been like there's this gap was open, so it like went up. When it went up, it left this gap open, so it like coming down. It did not fill this gap fully. There's still like this open gap sitting right here. So now that it kind of went up, tagged this bearish order block, I was hoping that earnings would kind of take it above the bearish order block and would break it, and we would be on our way like this high and then eventually that high. But earnings came out negative. It's gonna like punch it down, and when it gets punched down, this would be the area to buy it, as in when you fill this gap right here. So there is this area sitting right there which hasn't been filled. So I was hoping that earnings would like punch it up again, fill this entire gap, but market doesn't want to do it at the moment. I'm like, I don't care. I'm just gonna wait till like 2025 to like do something with this stock. Because the thing is, given that it has gone sideways so much, if you look at the 12-month candle, you can probably start seeing some patterns developing. Like say for example, on the 6-month chart, there is an inside 6-month candle which has formed, which is closing in 19 days. So why do I want to position into something when there's a inside 6-month candle forming? I can just wait for the new 6-month candle to come in and see if it like drops below, cleans these lows. And this is a very, very good SR level sitting right there. Like that. Matthew finally made it. I was telling Matthew that, he was at his parents' house, that he should just like go lock himself in the bathroom and start listening to a live stream. Why not? Like he would have gave bro, don't touch that shit. Just don't touch that. Don't touch AMD at all. All of the yeah, yeah. Just just don't touch AMD. Because the thing with AMD is that it's undergoing a massive correction against this entire trend from like 2022 bottom to like 2024 top, and you got to be taking a fib from this low all the way to this high. I would not be surprised if it comes all the way down to like 0.705, which would be here, um, and then eventually to 0.79 as well. So this is it could tap to like $90 mark. When it taps the $90 mark, you could probably speculate if you want to get into the market again or not. But at the moment, my thinking is that this is not a stock you want to touch at all. When the 6-month candle is printing like a SFP like that, and you're making a bearish order block, you just want to let it go. Just let it be alone. It wants to do its own thing. Um, I don't particularly have any edge trading this market. What I see on the two-week candle, it was a resistance zone here. I tagged that, rejected. It formed a new resistance zone in the process. I tagged that, it's rejecting it, and it's forming a new resistance zone in the process. It's inside that resistance zone. So when you have lower high, lower high, lower high being printed, why do you want to touch that? Just let it be. Sure, you can like long support zones when it gets into the support zone, but it has a lot of overhead resistance. It needs a very strong catalyst to like turn things around and then go back up again. But it will take a lot of time to do it. So again, it boils down to like opportunity risk. Would you really want to lock in your capital into something which is not going to move for like 6 months to come when you can like do so many other things like with that capital? Unless you knew something fundamentally speaking for the company that is going to do something new, which will kind of juice it up against Nvidia, then I would say you kind of have a point. Kind of like Tesla. There's no competitor for Tesla. So whatever Tesla is doing, you can see it, and you can see that it has like a real market application. It's entering like a new market space, like with the robotics, Neuralink engines, or AI stuff it's just doing, and you can see that it has real life application and it's going to have like a future revenue stream to it. And you can have conviction that at some point when that revenue stream hits the market, Tesla stock is going to take off. But I cannot justify that for AMD because it has so much competition with it. Nvidia being the big daddy, that Nvidia is going to dominate AMD all the time. Like there's no way AMD is going to like take over whatever Nvidia is doing. So that's why I'm like, why do you want to bet on something which is like a second-rate market when you can bet on the first-rate market, which is Nvidia? Instead, AVGO has been like a better market to trade. That it's been following Elliott wave analysis pretty well, and I think on AVGO, this is the chart pattern in play now, where it's looking pretty clear. This is like an ascending triangle. Yeah, it's probably going to go for a breakout, but I don't think the breakout is going to happen right away. It has earnings very soon, actually. Thursday, December 12th. But just tomorrow, what the fuck? It's happening tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I think you kind of want to wait for AVGO until January starts. Like it's a chart pattern in the making since like June. It's been 6 months. So 6 months of consolidation, it will have some violent breakout. But I think the breakout is going to start in January. It needs a little bit more time to fill this chart pattern a bit. I would actually want to see the earnings disappoint, go down a bit, test this trend line, go back up again, and then break out. See what I mean? See what I mean, Jeff? Man, Ethereum is pushing. XRP is pushing. It's not technically pushing, but it's going. Oh, poor baby. Oh, I see. See, AVAX had a massive candle. Single hourly candle. It went up like 2.5%. It's a good thing I call that you should be getting into AVAX. XRP is gonna push too. I'm pretty sure it's gonna push. Bro, Link is up 21% of the day. What the fuck is going on? Yeah, it added another 6% while we were talking. Hmm, I know. You can buy Solana too. Oh, you already have it? Nice. Then buy MSTX. Buy MSTX tomorrow when you wake up when the market opens. It's on leverage. It's 2x leverage on MSTR. Yeah, it's like a spot position play. Yeah, no, don't buy options. Options are very expensive. Just buy the actual ETF, which is MSTX. Okay, fine. If you can afford it, you can get it. Buy the IBIT options then. IBIT. Get January option calls and IBIT. Get January 20th expiration option calls on Bitcoin if you want to do that. See what I mean? You see what I mean? So I'm talking about IBIT going up another 15% from here. That leaves it at about 66. You can buy 62 strike option calls on IBIT for January 20th expiration. Yeah, sounds good. No, it's gonna go till 67 for a 15% rally. It's gonna land at 267. However, give yourself some room. Like even if it goes in the money, you're gonna make money with that. You understand what I'm saying? So like even if let's say by January 20th, Bitcoin is sitting at 64, yeah, even if Bitcoin is sitting at 65 by the time January 20th comes, you would still have a lot of money in your position because it would be in the money. But if you go for 67 strike and it does not reach 67 by January 20th, you would be bleeding money away with it because of time decay. Yeah, fine. Get 60. That's fine too. Okay, tell me this. Is this more helpful that I discuss real-time positioning on the live stream instead of like writing it down and see? Right. Okay. As you see, boss. Okay. That's good to know. But yeah, I'll post the actual alerts as well when I do take a position. Well, with crypto was you just gotta be very fast in execution with crypto because things just move. Like they're not gonna wait around for you. Like Ethereum has been pushing nonstop. What the hell? Yeah, I'm gonna. I haven't even had dinner just because of you. It's 10 p.m. right now. I still need to have dinner. Well, I like to blame you. I wouldn't really blame anybody else, right? All right. Yeah. Yeah. No worries. Have a good night. Good night. Bye.